Is that better? Is this better?
Tyreece, we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jonathan Gillespie, and I'm a business consultant at Black Swan Business Setup here in Dubai. And I'm here with my colleague Tyreece. He's also a business consultant here in Black Swan Business Setup. And I'm here with a proper cup of Yorkshire tea brewed tea. Hate it or love it, I'm a lover. You may be a hater, but you know it's proper British. We're both originally from the UK and now living and working in Dubai. We're both British expats and who have made the move ourselves from the UK, obviously, to Dubai. So today's session isn't just about theory, it's more based on personal experience as well as professional expertise. We all know it's a very, very big decision in setting up a business and possibly moving countries at the same time. It could feel very, very overwhelming. And our goal today is more to give you a clear and practical information to help you decide whether the UK or Dubai would be the right fit for you, for your business, lifestyle, and long-term goals. We'll be talking about the tax, lifestyle, infrastructure, and a little bit of personal experience ourselves. So, Tyreece, let's talk a bit about Black Swan. So, over to you.
Yeah, so just introducing our company quickly. Before we dive deeper, just a quick bit about Black Swan itself. We are a specialized business consultancy focused on helping entrepreneurs and companies set up and grow in the UAE and the UK and the wider GCC region. In terms of licenses, that's not what we're limited to. We don't just help you get your license. We're there from you for the very first step, from initial consultation to company formation. And then once you need visas allocating, banking support, and ongoing business services like bookkeeping, accounting, and just keeping you up to date and giving you knowledge on the compliance. Our team has supported hundreds of clients from freelancers to multinational corporations. So we've got a wide range of expertise. We've ensured that everybody gets the right structure, the best pricing, and a smooth setup experience. And for us, because we live and work here ourselves, we understand both the opportunities and the challenges of relocating or expanding from overseas. For us, our goal is to make your journey simple and seamless, and also you have to enjoy it as well.
Okay,
so Jonathan, you just tell me a bit about why people consider moving to the UK or Dubai.
I've on a personal note, I've actually I moved here for I've moved, obviously made the move, and I've also set up my own company in Dubai. So I've been on both spectrums of the stress on that. But let's start with the UK is a very familiar territory for so many people. It offers a well-established legal system, access to large local markets. It's very strong business credibility. There's so many big businesses, named businesses that is originally formed from the UK, that's operating globally. And especially if your customers and partners are UK based, it could be quite daunting. Of, well, why will I leave the UK? But Dubai, on the other hand, is a very fast-growing global hub. We're very, and you've experienced it yourself. The world-class infrastructure, the tax advantages, the international communities. With just a mix of everybody, and let's just say, for entrepreneurs that's looking to expand beyond their home markets. Dubai offers a compelling combination of business opportunity and lifestyle benefits. And over the recent years, there's definitely been I'd say since COVID, shall I say, there's definitely been a big shift in people that want to control their lives a bit more, control their taxes, want a better quality of life. And I think this is what the big thing that happened from COVID is it made people realize, staying home and living the slow lane wasn't for everyone. Um, you know, Dubai definitely is that fast pace that gives high
100%.
delivery on tickets, ticks all the boxes, shall I say. But yeah, let's talk about, Taurus, the setup and the residency. Um, talk us through a little bit of that.
Okay, right. So we'll start with the setup process. In the UK, as many of you might know, it's you can register a limited company online in under 48 hours. It's very quick and affordable. Obviously, it only costs around £12. But this only gives you a business registration, no visa or no residency either. So
So
in
I actually,
Dubai, this
Therese,
process.
I ran a business in the UK and my own company in the UK. So I understand the very straightforwardness of starting up a company
Yeah,
and registering a company in the UK. The other hand, though, is the other side is all the different taxes that you need to fill in and get back, and it's easy but
100%.
stressful. Sorry, interrupting you. Go on, carry on, sorry.
It's
Sorry.
okay. So, just talking about setting up in Dubai, the process, it does take a little longer. Typically, with for getting your initial license, it can take a few days, but then everything else it can take up to maybe six weeks, depending on like the type of company, as you may need different approvals from the government just to ensure you're up to date with obviously all the compliances. But with all of this, the whole incorporation, you get your company plus a residency visa. So you'll have an Emirates ID, and then you'll be able to get a corporate bank account. And obviously, once you've got your UAE residency visa, it gives you the ability to sponsor your family members. So this would be immediate family members. For example, you have a wife and you have one kid, so you're a family of three. You will be able to sponsor them, and they would be under your sponsorship, so they would be eligible for a UAE residency visa. So with that, there's a big advantage if you're looking to move over here. So that means it's very easy to get your family over here as well and make the move as a collective, rather than just moving here on your own and being a bit stuck on your own. So there's no restrictions to having family over here.
And it makes sense, right?
So
Going to want to move across on your own. You're going to want your
yeah,
family come across. When you're taking a big jump, like me myself, I've come over with my partner and our dog. Okay, I did need a visa for my dog. She didn't need checks, but I did need to, but you definitely need to have that family orientated, that family around you. And more people are moving from the UK with their families.
yeah, definitely. I agree with that as well. As you're saying, like moving over with someone, it's a lot better than just coming over on your own. As I find, even not personally myself, because I've got a partner, but some of the people that I know and some clients that I've moved over, and also even friends, made the move over from the UK, and they find it takes a while to settle in, and sometimes they actually say that like it feels a bit lonely for them. So if they do have like immediate family that can move over, like maybe a wife and some kids, if you do have a family, it's good to know that you're not restricted to bringing them over, and the whole process for that does not take long as for bringing them over and getting them an actual residence visa.
No,
So,
absolutely.
Jonathan, would you be able to just give us a bit of a comparison in terms of taxes? Because that's one of the biggest things where people want to move over here. As you know, Dubai has a great tax structure, if we could call it
Yeah,
that.
of course. So let me start with the UK. Now, as someone that's run a business in the UK, and I have family members that have ran multiple businesses in the UK. Let's just say the UK is not. Um, how do I put it? They're not shy of taxing you. They're not shy of wanting your money from you.
Got to be careful what words we use here.
Yes, yes. So let's start with your personal tax. Personal tax. So when you go to work, you work your 9 to 5. You work your 40 hours a week, and then at the end of the week or the end of the month, you get your personal tax. You get taxed on your income. That goes from anywhere from the up to 20% to 40%. So depending on your earnings and your brackets there. Sorry, that was a bit of a mind blank then. And then as a business, you got your corporation tax. Corporation tax in the UK is 19% on the profits. And then on top of that, you got your VAT, so your value added tax. That's 20%. 20% if it's over, your profits are over £90,000. And then, if you want to withdraw your money from your company, you've got a dividend tax, and that ranges between 8.75% to 39.35%. Now, big jump just trying to get your money out. Now, let's say you have an employee, right? Now, there's a big thing recently when the Labour government come in, they hiked the national insurance contribution. So again, when you employ staff, you got to pay the income tax and national insurance on their salaries. And then if you're renting, so if you're like my auntie runs a pub, and they've recently actually just put the business rates up. So again, you have business rates in the UK, and it's pretty much like a council tax. So it's not it's unsure on business rates. It's like a council tax for businesses' premises. So if you rent or own an office, a shop, a warehouse, a pub, a restaurant, you'd be liable for these charges. And they can literally range from thousands to tens of thousands of pounds, depending on the property size and value. And it takes a big chunk of your profits. Now, you heard a bit about the UK side. Now, please brighten my day and tell me how good Dubai is with their taxes and advantages. Come on, let's cheer up the listeners.
So with this, obviously in Dubai, there's not a big chunk like you've just said. Like you've mentioned all those figures there. If you do the maths, for example, for a business owner, if you do all the maths on what your earnings are and all the other hidden costs, you're going to understand that you're having a big percentage of the work that you're putting in essentially is getting paid in taxes. So in Dubai, there's 0% personal income tax, 0% corporate tax on profits up to 375,000. So for example, so that's about £80,000. So if you make £81,000 profit, then you would only get taxed 9% on that 1,000 extra. So anything below 80,000 is tax free. And then 5% VAT, that will apply if your turnover exceeds £80,000. So it's the same threshold. No dividend tax, no business rates on free zone or mainland licenses, which is good. And then also another thing I want to note, sorry, a lot of free zones include office space and an actual business address as part of your package. So that wouldn't be any extra property tax that you're having to pay. So it can save, obviously, like you said, from thousands to 10,000s of pounds.
It's crazy.
So yeah,
the difference. It's crazy comparing them both, right?
It's just good to it's good for me personally. It's good to see the money that I've actually worked and none of it's being taken away. It's definitely something that a lot of people are looking at, and this is why there's a lot of people that are moving over to Dubai from the UK. So I had a figure, I was doing some research and I found out that I think it was last year, 6,800 millionaires moved over from the UK. So you got to think of how much the percentage of the actual millionaires that is in the UK. Like that is just for 1 year, that's a big percentage of people, and they're
big
obviously
chunk.
seeing the benefits from this.
No, well, now we talked about tax. Let's see. The UK, obviously, the tax is used to be able to fund, the schools, your parks, your hospitals. You pay national insurance for your NHS. So let's compare, the lifestyle and the changes. Like when I came over, it was a big shock in the difference of lifestyle for me. It did take me time to adapt, but now I'm like, wow, the difference is incredible.
Yeah,
It's
I'll have to agree with that. Honestly, the lifestyle change and shift is, you can't even explain it unless you've actually been here yourself. That's the only way I can put it.
exactly. Exactly. Now let's talk. The UK, right? So let's say being over here, living in Dubai, we're still in the know. We see a lot of negativity, I suppose, and I suppose it may just be negativity, maybe people moaning, but I'm hearing of GP appointments that could take up to 6 weeks to just see a doctor. Now, before I moved over here 18 months ago. The waiting list was about 3 weeks. So in 18 months, that waiting list has doubled. And I had a friend of mine that was in A&E, and they had to wait up to 48 hours just to be seen in A&E's department, right? Now, let's move on, because I don't want to take up too much and, look like damning the UK.
I've had
Let
a
me
bit of a
just,
similar story to your friend, to be fair. For myself, when I was in the UK before I moved over here, I actually broke my hand, and I was in A&E for, I think, 15 hours or some, like around
yes.
15, 16 hours maybe. And like, it was honestly, I know that I'm still patient. I'm a patient person, but that really tested my patience, because
Was
there's a
you a
lot of
patient
people
in
sat
A&E?
there and a lot of people are getting irritated around me, and it's just not even a good environment to be in for that
Well,
amount of time.
let's compare the whole thing, right? We've talked about taxes now. Your taxes is the second one thing. So you're looking GP appointments up to 6 weeks, 48 hours waiting list in A&E. You got schools that are oversubscribed. You got families that can't even send their kids to schools that's local to them, and they have to get buses, lifts to take their kids to school. A lot of the after school clubs and communities are having cutbacks. I remember as a young child myself, there was a lot of community centres we used to go to. We used to play soccer, and soccer, that's American football.
Yeah.
And, and even parks. Like the parks, most of the parks and playgrounds are often run down or unsafe. Crime rates are rising. Last year alone, there was something like 6 million reported offences last year, including knife crime and burglaries, right? It's becoming harder for families to feel secure and supported. Now, I just listed off all them taxes that's that you people in the UK residents are paying, and that is what you get back in return. It's crazy. And now, don't get me wrong, I can't diss the UK, because it is a beautiful place. And I was born and bred in the Midlands, and there is a lot of good points in that. So I can't be too biased, but just unfortunately at this moment and at the current situation that's been going on in the UK, is definitely is reaching to why more people are making the move.
100%.
And Tyreece, you've been in Dubai now for quite a while. But tell us a bit more about the Dubai and why the lifestyle of Dubai. I've told the UK the current situation, but please tell me a bit more of Dubai, and why would families want to move why would people want to move their business and their families? I suppose the main thing there is families over to Dubai.
So, as just a bit to contrast what you said about like raising crime rates, Dubai has very, very low crime rates. So, it's within the top 5 safest cities in the whole world. So that means that even for like the women, they can go and walk alone, and they can feel safe knowing that nothing's going to happen to them. Or like, for example, say if somebody has an expensive watch, let's say, and they're out, they don't have to they don't have to worry about somebody trying to steal their watch or their phone or anything like that. And you can walk around feeling safe. And with your kids, if obviously they're outside playing with their friends, you know that they're outside and they're safe. Nothing's going to happen to them. So it's for a family, it's ideal because you've just got security within the whole city. Like you can go anywhere and you know that nothing's going to happen to anyone. In terms of family as well, so there is over 35 British curriculum schools. A lot of them are rated outstanding. So you wouldn't, as a family for your child, you wouldn't really be missing out on getting taught by a British school because you have them over here and they're just as good, if not better than a lot of the UK schools. And they have a lot of UK teachers who have been trained from the UK. So it's the way it's ran and the curriculum is exactly the same. So a bit of a story about this. My partner, she's actually a teacher at a British curriculum school. It's quite a big branch actually out here, has a lot of schools, and they've actually recently, within the last 2 months, have been rated outstanding. And then, so with this as well, like you said, the after school clubs, some of them are being cut due to like funding, etc., and the lack of staff. There is so many after school clubs here. Like sometimes I don't even see my partner because she's here at after school clubs helping the kids, and a lot of them do that. And with this as well, it's just like a big community. It's family focused, and everybody is sort of, no matter where they're from, there's so many different nationalities. They've come from so many different backgrounds, and everyone's just sort of fused together as one big family. And in terms of outside of school, there's lots of communities that have like villas, and they have a lot of parks, gyms for obviously if you want to stay fit, a lot of parks. So if your kids, or if you just want to go on a walk or take maybe your pet, a dog for a walk. There's clinics as well. There's quite a lot of clinics that have a speedy waiting time. If you call them, you can get in within the same day. So in contrast to
you can get in within like 30 minutes, I believe, you know.
Yeah. So with waiting 6 weeks for an appointment, when you can get it on the same day, like it's just like you can't compare it really. And of course, one of the biggest thing that everybody knows about, the weather. So there's over 350 days of sunshine a year. So like you can't complain out here. It's the weather's like, well, the weather's happy, and everybody is happier because of this as well.
To be honest with you though, Tyreece, we're British, so you know we like to moan about the weather. So I think if I at least do not turn around and say, "Oh, it's hot," at least 15 times a day, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I do say that it's hot a lot out here, but then you've got to look back. I don't ever want to say it's cold. I don't want to say that again. So in Dubai, it's more than just business. If you used to move over, it's a chance for a better quality of life for yourself and your whole family as well.
No, so, I just want to quickly touch base. You were saying about the different nationalities. I've recently done a podcast that you can see on our Black Swan Instagram page, where we dived in a little bit more about Dubai and its culture. And there's over 200 different nationalities in Dubai. And as you're saying, everybody just lives in harmony because Dubai is all about respect, and respecting each other's values. And again, there's one thing I really enjoy about Dubai and really love is the values and respect that they have for each other. So, what is right for you? We're biased, and I'd say, Tyreece, are you being biased? Are you saying Dubai? Are you being biased to Dubai because you're here, or?
No, I wouldn't like to say so, but in all honesty, if your focus is a UK market, then obviously the UK makes sense. But if you're looking for other things such as tax efficiency, lifestyle upgrade, then as from the points we've said, Dubai would be the obviously better choice.
Of course, and again, we've experienced it, we've gone through it, and and I can't turn around and tell anyone that joined in that it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. It does come with challenges. The
100%.
But was them challenges worth it for me personally? Absolutely. Do I love the
Yeah,
UK?
I would never
Absolutely.
look
Do I
back.
miss the UK? Absolutely. But do I love Dubai and do I love living in this moment? Absolutely.
100%. I'm with you on that.
So yeah. So keeping a UK company while some people, some clients, you don't need to, like I just saying, I love the UK, I love Dubai, right? Now, some people you don't have to. Say if you want to just the business side and not the family lifestyle and the lifestyle and sipping cocktails on the beach, having yacht parties. You don't have to live here, but you can still set up your company here. Now, you know, I've actually got a friend of mine that he runs his head office here, but he lives in the UK. So and he pretty much spends sometimes here, sometimes there. Now that's absolutely fine. That's what you can do as well. You can set yourself up a business, get yourself your an investor visa, pop back now and then, have a cocktail. We can even meet for a cuppa if you like, and still live in the UK. But that's absolutely fine. But I think we pretty much covered everything we're going to cover today. So if there's any questions or if anyone has got any questions, please ask now. I will have a sip of my cup of tea because it's going cold. And
Yeah,
hopefully
good.
someone asks a question.
Let's see what we've got.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, that's
Move on. Thank you. So, guys, I hoped if you're a UK expat and you're thinking about moving to Dubai, or you're unsure about moving your family to Dubai because you're unsure if the family life's okay here, or if you're unsure about the business side of Dubai, or even if you would cope with the heat in Dubai, I'm hoping that we've kind of covered it for you and we've explained it. But if you would like a little bit more information, even if it's to say about personal life over here, please feel free to reach out to me or Tyreece or any of the people at Black Swan Business Setup here. All of us will be able to help. Even if you're not thinking about setting up in Dubai, we do have offices in Oman, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain. There is, and Abu Dhabi, sorry, I nearly missed Abu Dhabi out. There is a wide selection across the GCC where you can, of our colleagues that can help you set up your business. And, Tareece, you want to say anything or you want to say anything I missed
I
out?
think you've covered that last bit, to be fair. I just want to say thanks, everyone, for joining today. As English expats, from me and Jonathan, we've made this move ourselves, so we do understand that there will be a lot of questions that you may have or any concerns. So if anyone has any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us personally. We can either book a call or we can just communicate over like message or email. Anything that you have, we can definitely clear that up for you.
But of that, I hope we have been able to help you, and hopefully this will give you enough incentive to move to Dubai. And once you do move across and you're settled in, let's celebrate with a nice cold beer and toast your move. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you very much for joining us today. Again, please look at our Black Swan website, Instagram, Facebook. We're on all the social media platforms, so please give us a follow for more information. But from me, Jonathan, and Tyreece, and my Yorkshire cup of tea, catch you again.
Thank you.